Hey fans, it's me for a comic show. We're back after Christmas, after the holidays. It was fun, it was great. My daughter got a Ray action figure. I had to go to like 5 Targets to find one. Yeah, I know they made plenty, but they weren't around after the movie came out, and all the daddy's little girls were like, hey, I want this, and they were gone. So, whatever. It wasn't a 12-inch, I haven't found that yet. I want her to have that to play next to her Barbies in the same scale. I've always been like, no, it has to be the same scale if I'm playing with them. But anyway, she loved it, came with a little like BB-8. And yeah, fun times. And New Year's Eve is right around the corner. And here in the Geek Easy, we're going to have a big, crazy, the future is now New Year's Eve party with a bunch of like retro future robot craziness. And we'll have a free keg at some point. Hey, you just come in, walk out with a keg. We'll have plenty of free kegs for people. No, just kidding. It's free until it taps. And MST3K during the day, total dance party, fun at night. And here's the thing this week that's really weird. It's really weird. Okay, so we get our invoice. We're going to pay the invoice. Invoice have these books on it. Not that big of a week. Some good books. And then we get this email from Diamond Comics saying, these aren't the books you're looking for. They said some of these Marvel books somehow, due to a printing error, which I don't know what that means, got sent out to comic shops and charged to comic shops this week, including Obi-Wan and Anakin. This is not the book for this week. This book does not come out this week. This book is not here. And also, Amazing Spider-Man, Howard the Duck, the new Rocket Raccoon and Groot, which was really fun. Scotty Young's having so much fun with this book. They're it's crazy. They're making really good use of that 8-month gap after the Secret Wars, and I really enjoyed that book. I think you would like it too if you like Rocket Raccoon and Groot. It's definitely going in a different direction. Nova, Spider-Man 2099, and the quite charming Spidey book, the all ages book. But here's the thing. If I'm invoiced for the book, and the book's here, I'm paying for it with all the other books. Diamond has their Comic Suite subscription program that they do and manage and everything, and I run the report, and the report puts these books on the customer's pull, and the customer will see that when they have their printout, and I'm going to say, no, these books aren't out yet. No. Because why? Because why? Why? I don't know. Because I was asked please with the please, I don't know, maybe. I haven't really decided whether I'm going to sell them or not. Who knows? We'll see. But having said that, Obi-Wan and Anakin was really good. It's Charles Soule. It's the same artist as Shattered Empire. And it takes place like between Jake Llyod and Hayden Christensen. You got the Anakin that's kind of like in the middle. And I'm not spoiling anything, but it has all the beats you want it to have. It has him and Obi-Wan, with Obi-Wan's like, no, don't think that way, think this way. And then it has the flashbacks to the council where obviously he doesn't get along with the other kids that he later does stuff with. So anyway, it was really good. If you're on the fence about getting it, get it. It's Soule, it's Obi-Wan, and Chewbacca 5, there is payoff in this issue. There are 2 things that made me go, OMG, I've wanted to see this as a fan. You will know it when you see it. There's a first one, and you say, oh, wow, this is awesome. This is canon now? Great. And secondly, there's another thing that's like, oh, wow, my life day is complete now. Yay. So I didn't spoil it, but when you read it, you will know one of the most cited things about Chewbacca is dealt with in it, and you will enjoy it. Moving on. Deadpool and Cable. In this book, Deadpool actually makes the joke that he used to be a bottom and now he's not. He never wanted to be the bottom. He had to be the bottom. Cable was older and wiser. It used to be billed as Cable and Deadpool. Now it's not. But this book is hilarious. It's Nicieza, who did a lot of classic stuff with them, who did, the Cable Deadpool. And I laughed and laughed and laughed. It was very good. They pick up on a lot of older Deadpool things that isn't really touched on as much lately, but it's in the current continuity for both Cable and Deadpool, and it's awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if you're an old school Cable and Deadpool fan, you will love it, guaranteed. It's just that good. Squadron Supreme, you see this head on the cover. You see the eyes a little weird, and if you read the first issue, you know. And Squadron Supreme, they're trying to protect the universe by any means necessary, which involves Murder 2 and maybe even Murder 1. And they're already going up against the Avengers this issue, and they're not pulling any punches. Robinson is doing a great job on it. I'm digging it. All new Wolverine, super fast-paced, crazy action. loving it. Taylor's doing a great job with that. And Drax, the first issue of Drax, CM Punk, Bun, it was okay. It was fine. There were just so many books out that month that were new, and it didn't really stand out that much to me. I mean, I like the concept that he's fighting, it's like an intergalactic fight club. That's cool and all, but, it just didn't stand out. Issue 2 was awesome. This was so much fun. The dialogue with Drax is just straight from the movie. I mean, it was so good. And Terrax, yes, it shows he wants to fight him with a battle axe, but, I mean, really, they're just drinking. I mean, this is not a spoiler. It's from like the very beginning. They're just drinking beers. Just drinking beers. It's fun. I enjoyed the hell of that book. It was funny. I'm digging it now. And before I was like, why does he need his own book? I guess CM Punk's going to do a good job with that. He was a wrestler, and Drax is a brawler. This will work like the pitch, but with the second issue, the execution was dead on for me. And Darkseid War, always good. Faybook's back on art, and I'm enjoying this. And from the cover, you see it's the Crime Syndicate and Lex Luthor and the Justice League versus the Anti-Monitor, where before with Final Crisis, it had to be Lex Luthor and the villains and the Justice League to fight the Crime Syndicate. Now it's even worse. So, like, what's the next one going to be? Like, the Justice League and the Crime Syndicate and the Anti-Monitor and Lex Luthor and everyone fighting some bigger threat. I don't know. You can't outdo this, so Johns is doing great with it. I'm loving it. And we got two bag variants this week that are probably really cool. I'll just open it, whatever. I always end up bending them up when I open it, though, because it's so freaking tight. It's almost impossible to get them out. That's cool. Jim Lee. It's the Jim Lee one. Nice. That's Justice League with Jim Lee, and then Wonder Woman. I could just look up who the artist is, but I kind of like being able to just open it and find out myself with this way. Oh, Amanda Conner. Great. This is a great week. 2 wonderful artists. I love Amanda Conner. And moving on, the indie stuff. Yes, I'm enjoying a lot of Marvel stuff, and yeah, I'll highlight the DC stuff that I like because I still have affinity to the characters, but my heart's always with the independent stuff. And this week, Dreaming Eagles. Okay, here's what some people might say is problematic about it. It's Garth Ennis, a white guy, a European, doing a book about African Americans. It's a little weird, but I know that's what people. I know. However, Garth Ennis is a masterclass writer, and he's also a master at war books. And the premise for this is so freaking perfect. It's a dad and a son. The dad was involved with fighting Nazis, fighting the people that were championing the master race. He was a Tuskegee Airman, and his son is now following Dr. King, wanting to have take on white supremacists, take on the all of that, champion civil rights with perhaps violence here. And he likes King. His dad's like, keep your head down. Don't fight for others, even if it seems like it's your fight. And it's really good. And this first issue was totally engrossing. And just the idea that it's Dreaming Eagles, I have a dream, Screaming Eagles mixed together, the Tuskegee and the civil rights, the father and the son. It's really, really good. Like, seriously good. So, yes, Garth Ennis isn't African or American. However, it's super good. So take it at that. I'm sure there'll be articles about how it's not and he shouldn't be writing that, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And Garth Ennis also did a new Avatar book called Code Pru. Looks sci-fi from this cover, but it's really magic, pagan, crazy tentacle stuff, and it harkens back to the first books that Avatar really published in this vein of Avatar. Black and white, kind of like Warren Ellis's Stranger Kiss, all that stuff. Cool. If you're into that, I am. I enjoyed it. Garth Ennis, if you can't read black and white stuff, I don't know. Whatever. But I enjoyed it. Jughead, Zdarsky, loving Zdarsky, everything he does. Jughead is better than Archie. Sorry, Mark Waid. I'm sorry. I love Mark Waid. Zdarsky is just, He's the new like hot chick that just moved to town, and he's sorry. I know I came to the dance with Mark Wade, but I'm going to be leaving with Chip Zdarsky. And ringside, Joe Keaton. Yes, it's wrestling, and yes, not everyone likes wrestling. However, I'm here to tell you it's as much about wrestling as Southern Bastards is about football. Football is the DNA of Southern Bastards. It's the underlying connective tissue of everything. Everything is bleeding on the field, the football, the boss, the players, all that stuff. The whole town is revolved around football, but nothing has to do with the actual games. How many panels have been shown in Southern Bastards of like actually a game of football? Not hardly any. And some in flashbacks, basically. This is ringside. It's young wrestler, aging wrestler, what goes on behind the scenes, what goes on in their personal lives, and it's awesome, and I like it. And, I'm not anti-wrestling. I just, like, why do I need to read a comic book about wrestling? Well, here's why, because it's damn good. And there's a lot of crime stuff in it. There's a lot of human drama stuff about it. It was awesome, and Joe Keaton's the man. And finally, Rat Queen's Tess Fowler is making this her book. Like this, I'm loving her art more and more every issue. The coloring's great. I'm really still enjoying this book. I know it had its growing pains with losing the first artist over terrible issues and then having the fill-in artists. And now Tess Fowler is kicking ass. So hope she stays for the duration. And that's This Week in Comics. Maybe your store will be selling Obi-Wan and Anakin. Maybe not. I don't know. So yeah. I guess unless I get a personal phone call from someone at Diamond, I'll be selling it. So take that. I paid for it. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.